What's going on YouTube? Ben here. Welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you my next PlateUP automation guide. This one's for pizza. Let's get into this. Alright, so pizza's an interesting automation that has a ton of moving parts, and I'm going to show you a decent way to automate it today. So we're going to start with our flour, which of course we do need to make the dough, and I'm going to pop it here in the circuit. Now, of course, since we're automating, we're going to want some grabbers. So we're going to get a few of them. And I'm also going to grab a combiner as well, which we're going to need shortly. Perfect. Right, so we'll just grab the combiner and pop it here for now. But we're going to want our grabber, which of course is used to grab the flour from the bag. And then we're going to go ahead and add a sink here. Now, in order to make the pizza dough, you have to knead the flour into the dough. Now, in order to do that, we're going to need the sink and a combiner. Now, with the combiner pointed towards that sink, it will automate the process of kneading the dough. There we go. So that's now been sorted. So we'll leave practice mode. So now we've automated the process of kneading the dough. Next, you need to add olive oil to the dough in order for it to do what it needs to do. So we need to grab the oil and a grabber right here. There we go. So of course, using this, we're going to use this to grab the oil from here. Now we're going to need another combiner, which is going to go here. I'm going to point the combiner to the left. Now, with it pointed to the left, we're going to need a counter, and then we're going to need another grabber. So pop that combiner. We're going to need that later. Pop this grabber here. Now, what this part of the circuit is going to do is it's going to grab flour from here onto here, knead it. This is going to grab the oil from here and put it on the combiner, and then it's going to combine the oil with the flour that moves to here. So if we go into practice mode quickly, it's then going to combine it, and that's what makes the pizza base. So pizza base is now done. The pizza base is made. So with the pizza base being made, which is excellent, we're going to go ahead and grab what we need for the next part, which is going to be tomatoes. So we're going to go ahead and add another grabber here, which is going to grab to this section. And then we're going to go ahead and grab tomatoes, and we're going to pop them up here. Now we're going to need a few more grabbers. So we're going to grab from the tomatoes, pull them down, and then we're going to need a mixer. So just a regular mixer will do. So of course, this is going to mix the tomatoes into the puree, which is going to be added to the pizza base, at which time we're going to need, I'm just going to move this over here so it doesn't keep grabbing stuff. We're going to need another grabber, which is going to grab from here. Now, you actually don't need a smart grabber for this stage because it won't pull from here until it's been made into a puree, which is fine, which is exactly what we need. The next combiner is going to be used, and that's going to point down to here, at which point I have done this one step to the right, which is not good. Just move this here. There we go. And then we just need to add a counter over to here. Now, this is going to now automate the process of adding the tomatoes to the pizza base. So if we go into practice mode, you'll see that everything's been made. Pizza base has been made. That's passed on to that counter. And then the tomato puree has been added to the pizza base. Now, for normal pizzas, there is one more stage to this, which is cheese. Now, in process, the cheese is actually going to be very similar to the tomatoes. So what we need to do is add these on here. And then we're going to need a couple more grabbers and a combiner. So the combiner is going to go here and it's going to go there. And then, of course, we need our grabbers. So just like with tomatoes, it's going to grab from here. We also need another mixer because you need to chop the cheese, and mixers are the best way to do that. You could use conveyor mixers if you want, but I'm doing this the most cost-efficient way, which is just with normal mixers. So add the mixer, and then we're going to use one more grabber to grab from there to there. And then we're going to need another counter, which is going to go here. And then we're going to need another grabber, but this one needs to be a smart grabber. So the reason this needs to be a smart grabber is so that it doesn't grab from here too early. So we're going to go and place the smart grabber, go into practice mode to teach the smart grabber what to grab, which is going to be the pizza base with the tomato on it. So we need to wait for this to create what we need. Super. And then add that on there. And then leave practice mode. The cool thing with smart grabbers is you can teach them between modes like in practice. So we can do that, which is great. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pop that there so that it smart grabs from here when it's at that stage. Now, if we go back into practice mode, it will now automate the whole process of making the pizza. So that's now automated that process, and there we go. So the pizza is made. Now we just need to cook it, which is very simple. All we're going to need is a grabber. I need to swap that back. I will go into a couple of other things as well, so don't worry, we're not just going through the cooking process. You will also need a pretty big kitchen for this, which luckily this kitchen's just about big enough. Now, you can use any hob for this. I'm going to go with safety purely just because you can't burn anything on it. So now that's going to automate cooking the pizza. Now, there is one more thing we can do if you want to automate, because in order to serve pizza, it's served in slices. Now, in order to automate that, we'd need a portioner, which is going to go here, which is, of course, going to portion the pizza, have the arrows pointing from the safety hob. And then we'll use one more grabber. And then finally, a frozen prep station. And that will fully automate the process of not only cooking the pizza, making the pizza and cooking it, but also portioning it so that when you're serving it to customers, it will be in the pieces you need. And with the frozen prep station, it will keep it between days. So if we quickly watch the circuit do its thing, so that's going to carry the pizza onto there, grab the cheese, cook the pizza. Which by the time one of them is cooked, it's then going to go ahead and have a few more ready to instant cook. And then you have your chain. So that's now going to portion off and straight into the frozen prep station. And there we go. That's how you make pizza. So let me know what you think about this video in the comments down below. Don't forget, you can also support the channel further just by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm. And don't forget, you can also support the channel further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. And don't forget, I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch. My streams here on YouTube are in the shorts form feed, some more for mobile. If you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, feel free to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below.